Okay, so we are now live. Welcome back to another episode of Kherk, Roldan, SEO Show. This is the show for SEO, e-commerce, and digital marketing. Kherk Roldan Show was launched to deliver high-quality insights, best advice, and tips from the top experts to the community. So in today's episode, we have Holly Starks. Thank you so much, Holly, for having time for this interview. I really appreciate it, and it is a pleasure and an honor to be speaking with you right now. So, before we start with our interview, and for those who don't know Holly yet, Holly Stark is a leader in the video marketing industry, and at the end of 2016, she had 3.5 million live stream videos ranking on YouTube. Wow! And she has close to 150,000 YouTube accounts, and in some circles has been doubled the YouTube queen. Okay, so Holly, I know a lot of people ask you already, but I'm curious. Can you tell us about what you do?
So I do like many different things. I have many different hats, none of them which are white hat, let me say. But primarily, I do things with YouTube, YouTube rankings, YouTube trainings, YouTube courses, YouTube boot camps, everything related to YouTube. I teach people about CTR. I teach people about how to do the right backlinks, how to do optimization. And then I also have things like Google News sites that I started doing this year. I do mass page sites. I don't do anything with ads because is a little bit difficult for an SEO person to do that. I do native SEO. I do GMBs, which is Google My Business. I I do some stuff with Bing, some stuff with Quora. So I kind of have my hand in everything.
Wow, sounds very interesting. How you started your SEO journey, by the way?
So I pretty much started it. I believe it was in 2014.
Mm.
I got divorced. I have 4 kids, and I needed to be home. So I kind of was just like reading about how to make money online. I came across the Warrior Forum and the Wicked Fire, and I kind of like just bought courses, and I was reading threads, and it was probably a good year before I actually did anything. I was making like $7.50 delivering newspapers, and then in the evening I was trying to learn how to do basically how to build a website. So, I eventually I learned how to build websites, and I built a PBN network, and from there
Wow.
um, Google sort of like took down my network, and then I turned to YouTube because YouTube, like, your videos can get de-indexed, obviously, but it's a little bit easier to work with videos, as you can put like a video together in a couple minutes, and you can be ranking it within hours, sometimes minutes. It's
Yeah.
just really easy to work with. So that's kind of how, I went from 750 an hour in 2014, and then I put my course out, my first course, and in 6 weeks I made over 7 figures. So
Wow.
because everyone loved the course, nobody put out a YouTube course like it, right? So
Right.
from there, I, I've definitely have fine-tuned my YouTube skills from when I first started.
Okay. Wow, that was insane. So, can you tell us how you rank 3.5 million live stream videos in YouTube?
How did I rank the live stream videos?
Yes.
Okay, so in 2015, 2016, 2017, if you used programs like, oh Lord, I think it was called Livestream Genius. You could put this program on a VPS, and then you just put a video and you spun that video, and as long as that video was spun at least like 1 extra second in the beginning or the ending, it was not a duplicate video. So I would spin hundreds of thousands of videos and put it on, I had 1,000 servers. So I ran this program 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And eventually I ended up with 3.5 million videos over about, I think it took me maybe 9 to 10 months to get all those videos up online. But there
Wow.
were like keywords that were really simple, right? So I don't go after keywords like, let's say, Dallas plumbing or Dallas electrician. I don't go after hard keywords. I go after low-lying fruit. So my videos, they always rank like, within the top 3, usually right away, because I go after easier keywords. So it was very easy for me to rank and get income right away because I didn't go after the big keywords.
All right. Sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
Guys, if you have questions for Holly, you can drop it in the comment section. Holly, in regards to optimization or YouTube optimization, how you optimize videos for better YouTube search?
It kind of really depends upon what your videos are about, right? So I have some, let's say, so I have a channel that is based on just questions that people ask on Quora and I answer them. So that channel is based on AdSense, right? I have a
Okay.
channel then that has a Days of Our Lives. It's a US TV show, and I have that, and I push the traffic to Amazon and T-shirts. I have traffic that is for lead generation, so like plumbing, pest control, that type of stuff. Um, and so that would be lead generation, obviously. I have, I don't, those are my three main ones that I really do. Oh, I forgot the other one. Is Amazon videos. So sometimes we'll do unboxing. Sometimes we do like, we'll get a high school kid and do unboxing of beauty products, and then we'll push the traffic to Amazon. So affiliates, ClickBank, that type of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I see one question here in my group. So in your YouTube keyword research strategy, how you normally do it and what YouTube keyword tool you use?
So I generally like the tool. It's a web browser. Is Answer the Public, and I'm very simple about what I look for. So we go to answerthepublic.com. I type in. I like to go after embarrassing niches because embarrassing niches are ones that people are looking for online to cure, not, and then they won't go to the doctors because obviously, like, let's say you have hemorrhoids, it's embarrassing, or toe fungus. You don't want to talk to anybody about it, but you'll do research on it. So say we go to answerthepublic.com, we put in hemorrhoids, and then it'll give me all the questions and the keywords related to that. And then I'll do some
Okay.
videos based on that content. The other tool that, I think it's called keywordfinder.com. It's pretty, you kind of get the same information that you get from Answer the Public.
All right. So yeah, keyword finder. Okay. So guys, take note ha, answerthepublic.com. And Holly, in regards to your YouTube content, how do you create uh, good YouTube content, by the way?
So I don't think that I create good YouTube content. I think I create content that either people want to click to
Oh,
get to see, to answer the actual question, to find the actual product. Um,
okay.
Generally, it is like I'll get like videos from, I think, what is it called? Videoblocks.com, maybe it is. And I'll get like short segments like that and then make a montage on Camtasia. Or I will go to just regular Fiverr if I'm doing something like lead gen. I will get a spokesperson and spend $5 or $10 and just give them a very simple script. Um, but yeah, I don't spend a lot of time on the actual video itself. Um, I don't like to fully answer the person's question. I want them to click through to the actual product. So I'll answer it to a point, and then I'll be like, sign up for my next video. I'll make an email list so I can hit these people with an email, once a day about the product, and then we'll push them over to the sales page.
All right. Okay. So long YouTube titles versus short titles. So how important are titles for YouTube SEO?
So it is very important because so for ranking purposes, your CTR and engagement's number one. Your your title is number two. So if I was going after something, any kind of product, I would do like review CBD oil, and then I put a line that's up and down, and then I would put the secondary keyword. So your title is the it is quite important because YouTube and Google won't know what the video necessarily is about. And then, of course, we put that in our tags. And I only use 7 tags because 7 seems to be what like the magical number is. It doesn't confuse YouTube. If you're one of those persons that goes and puts like 15 tags in your video, I feel like you get really broad, and tags are about being really narrow. So there's no point in loading it up because I can get 7 narrow keywords and rank a lot easier.
Okay. So since you mentioned about CTR, any tips about your CTR method?
I use microworkers. If
Microwork.
Yeah, so I mean, I spend $5 a day generally on microworkers for a week, and then I have automated programs. But you'll get a really good start if you just start it off with microworkers. Generally, if you're not overly aggressive, of course, um, you can get in. Depending upon the competition, you can get on page one within 1 or 2 days.
Okay, so guys, you can also check Holly's CTR method by going to her shop. It's store.hollystarks.com. So if you are interested, you can go there. Holly, do you have any best YouTube SEO secret for us? Maybe you can share us a little bit about it.
So is your crowd that listen to you, do you guys do a lot of stuff with GMBs and business? Like that?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
what
there are
stuff?
people. Yeah, there are people who are doing GMBs and local SEO as well.
Okay, so one of the really cool things with YouTube is that you can do a YouTube citation. And a lot of people don't know. They think like YouTube, like citations are things that are off white pages and such as that. But you can just do a regular citation. You just make a very short video with a bunch of photos, put
Okay,
the GMB URL, um, and then your NAP, and then list underneath that a bunch of keywords. And once that video goes live, it's considered a YouTube citation. And within 5 minutes, your words or your keywords that you have in the video generally will bounce in the top three.
okay, okay. So I have another question here from Diaz. So how you rank your videos from start to finish? Yeah, it's a long topic, but maybe you can share it in a brief. Uh,
I mean, really, it's like just making sure that your title's right, that your description, your first line, you want to have your keywords with your money site, and then a list of keywords. Make sure you have 7 tags. If you're doing something local, you go into the advanced tab and you type in the local, like Las Vegas, whatever, and then um, you make it go live. And so once it goes live, it's in a what we call a 7-day period, like an audition. So you're auditioning to try to be in those rankings, right? So you want to get as much engagement in those rankings. So at that point is when you start micro workers. If you don't want to do micro workers, you can always hire people to do it for you and just go and look at your video. You're doing commenting, you're doing liking, you're doing uh, um, subscriptions, stuff like that, subs to your actual channel. So it's really just about sending traffic there. You can do things like we have just recently started doing embeds, so you can do that type of stuff. But really, engagement is primarily how I have ranked for the last several years.
okay, so Diaz, take note everything what Holly said. So for you, Holly, is YouTube SEO easier than Google SEO?
Yes, it's way easier because you don't have the updates that you have with Google, right? I mean,
Right.
you're going to have some updates, but you're based on ranking is based on your engagement. So,
Oh,
of course, if you don't get engagements, you're not going to rank, right? But it's a
right.
lot easier to do it on YouTube because even if they did like some sort of update, it still is going to be based on engagement. So, you know, you're going to have de-indexing. That's really the only issue.
Okay. So I have a question for you, Ali. This is for me. This is very important one to know. So, what's your best SEO accomplishment? Maybe it's about the fastest keyword you rank or the hardest keyword you rank.
Um, so my biggest accomplishment, I think it was, so if we're talking about keyword, it was I ranked, I think it was in
Wow,
less than an hour for weight loss. I
Wow.
was
In your
number one for weight loss, and I was number one for fidget spinners.
weight loss and fidget spinners. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So if we're talking keyword, but in basic, like in a broad sense of SEO, what was my biggest accomplishment? I actually think it was when I first started off, is I bumped off um, the OMG guys, and I ranked for, I think it was SEO Nashville. So
Okay.
my video was ahead of their website. So as like a whole accomplishment, I think that was it, because that's when I first started off and learning about it.
All right. So for you, what are the most important aspects of technical SEO?
Um, well, I don't know if so like when I do SEO, I look at manipulations and I
Manipulate.
try to manipulate stuff. I don't, like I'll see what the top person is doing, and then I'll steal their content and their keywords and make my property stronger. So it kind of will do a switch because it looks like I had the content on my site first. So a lot of my SEO is really about manipulation and tricking Google. I'm not someone who does white hat. I'm not someone who like works a lot on my content. I literally go in and copy and paste what the number one person has, and then I'll send a ton of engagement and um, manipulations to it.
Yeah. So I guess there are only few people doing that, right? And you're the one. You're the one as well. So
Yeah.
anyway, what are some easy YouTube SEO hacks you can share to us, Ollie?
Any SEO hacks?
Yes.
Um,
Secrets.
okay. So if I mean, do you want a dirty hack or you want a clean? I'll tell you a dirty one. Um, so if I am having a we'll say, like my client, maybe I don't have that many clients, but if I have a client and he's getting a lot of negative reviews, I'll go to the competition. If we're for sure that competition did it, we'll go to his GMB and upload a hidden image. So it's a logo when you look at it, right? But on the back end of it is a porn image with a bunch of terminology on the screen, like text not appropriate. And then we'll upload it on their GMB and look like we're leaving a good review, but really it's a porn image. And generally it gets bounced within, a couple days that GMB is not there anymore. So that is a fun SEO hack that
Wow.
if you're having issues like with ranking and stuff like that. Um, the other one is to do a lot of like exploits and redirects, and that's where you redirect high power Google entities to your website and then get Ahrefs to see that. And generally, that'll get your rankings to boost too.
Okay. Wow. A lot of strategies, right? So
Yeah.
for a startup and beginner in SEO, do you recommend them start getting clients or learn SEO first?
I mean, you really need to learn SEO before you can get clients, but you can do kind of, I mean, as long as you're not promising that you're not going to rank them within a month or a week, which is ridiculous. Um, you can definitely learn on the go, but you need to be able to have some kind of quick skill set to prove that you'll be able to rank, which is why you should do. I mean, GMB clients you can get all the time, and you can rank them within minutes. So that's an easy start, is by doing GMB and doing the YouTube citation.
Okay. I agree with you as well with that one. So another question from my group is adding transcript to video description will help you increase your YouTube ranking.
I do not do my own transcription. YouTube just does that on their own. I don't even put that into my video. I don't pay attention to that at all.
Okay. So this is different. During the website auditing, what's the most important importance of regularly auditing your website?
So Usually, it's really like having popped optimizer content. So what I do is I hire someone to go and get me popped optimizer content and then put it on my website because Google more ranks on page. So if your
Right.
on page is not right, you're gonna struggle, right? So I have popped optimizer. Then I'll send traffic to it and make sure that it sits on the website and clicks around the videos or the photos and goes to inner pages and keeps going to inner pages, you know. I like to do that for at least 10 minutes or so to look like that people are reading it and stuff like that.
Okay.
But if your on page isn't right, it's not going to be exactly working the right way.
Yeah. So, if possible to share, Holly, what is your link building tactics for a website?
It's really like stuff with manipulation, right? It's stuff with redirects. I'm
Redirects. Okay.
really heavy with redirects, really heavy with ranker X, with Web 2.0 embeds, with the blog content, Google News. I have a large Google News network, so we're doing Google News posts. Did I miss anything? I think that those are all the backlinkings. I mean, Google News itself, if you did some posting for Google News networks itself, Google News sites that are so you have a website and it's in Google News and it's very, very trusted because it has that Google News entity sort of attached to it. So you can just do blog posts. You could do like 7 to 10 in a month and it should be ranking, you know.
Okay. So, since you mentioned Google News, how you normally do that now? Do you have a database or something?
How do I make the them?
Yes.
So I can't go into a lot about how I make them themselves, but essentially what you need to do is have 50 to 100 articles on your site, which you can have a PBN site. You just have 50 to 100 news type of articles and then you submit it to Google News. You can submit it to Apple News, to Bing News, to Yahoo News. It'll get up all approved in it. The process of getting it approved is a little bit more difficult, but I mean, really you just need to have news content and you need to have enough news content so it looks like a journalism site.
Ah, okay. Okay. I got it. Okay. So, in regards to deliver your SEO services, are you doing it monthly or do you provide graphs compared the month to month reports?
To my clients,
Yes.
Um, so I don't have that many clients. My clients are mostly that I rank their videos,
Mhm.
and I just give them a rank tracker. On Cert Probot, I just give them an API for it, and they just log in every day if they want to check their rankings. But really, rankings, I don't. I mean, rankings don't matter if you're not getting any calls or ROIs. So in
Right.
that sense, that's kind of on their side. They should know how to close the calls and stuff like that. So we'll show them where they rank, but if they're not getting any traffic, it really doesn't matter if I rank number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah, but it's I just give them a rank tracker. That's the only report that they get from me. I don't talk to them. They're not allowed to call me.
Okay. So, I'm very much interested with your Lux Video Victory. Can you please tell us more about it?
So Luke's video or victory video
The
course
beginner.
yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue very well, right? That's about doing things like using Ranker, sorry, Ranker X, and you're doing auto embeds. You're doing things with Scrapebox. You can do it with Money Robot. You can do it with GSA. We have modules for all of them. And it's really just like making your video, making it optimized, and then going and building embeds and that type of backlinks to those videos. And it works so well because he has a step by step process.
Okay. Okay. So, one question from my group: are you not using any skyscraper or guest posting, something like that?
So I don't use guest posting because I built my own guest post network, right? That's pretty much Google News. I mean, it's you're doing guest posts. So, yeah, I don't need to rent out anyone's because I built my own.
Okay.
And I'm not doing outreach because I have 300 Google News sites. I don't need to.
Okay. Okay. So, what is your advice for people that are doing YouTube SEO right now, Holly?
I mean, my best advice is it's a good time to get into it because it's the second biggest search. Um, I don't know what we call browser or whatever we call search engine, I suppose, because everyone has cell phones, right?
Right.
Um, I would get into things that people are asking, like the how to is really good. The embarrassing niches are really good. Health is really good. Things with keto and diet, health,
Yeah.
fitness are really good because people are stuck at home. So we want to know how to cook. And we want to know how to stay healthy. So that type of stuff is doing really good on ClickBank. Um, so I kind of like my niches are stuff that the everyday person is really looking for. I don't go after the hard stuff like credit repair. I don't do anything like that, not anymore.
All right. So, before we end, what is the best way to reach out to you, or how can our viewers connect with you, Holly?
You can reach me on Facebook as Holly Starks. You can go to hollystarks.com. And then, of course, my store, which is store.hollystarks.com. So one of the three ways, that's pretty much it. I generally answer right, on Facebook. But if somebody message me and just say hi, I don't usually reply back because I have so many people that say hi. If you ask me a specific question, then I'm gonna answer you versus someone who's just like, hi, how are you? You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
'Cause I,
So,
I, I get hundreds of messages that are like that.
yeah, okay. So, Holly, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. And of course, for sharing your time with us. A lot of information that we learned. So, guys, I hope you had a great time with Holly. I highly recommend you follow Holly website at hollystarks.com here in my screen and store.hollystarks.com to check all her products such as DR manipulation, video SEO course, CDR method, plugins, and more. So, thank you so much, Holly, for your time. I hope we can have another uh, show in the couple of months or years. So take
Yeah,
care,
for sure.
Holly. Take care for your travel. Okay. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Have a
Thank
great night.